All right, let's talk about the case where protons does not equal electrons. What we would get there is something called an ion. So we'll talk about that next. Ions are not electrically neutral. They have a charge. So they have a positive or a negative charge because the protons don't equal the electrons. The charge on a symbol is always going to be found in the upper right-hand corner. We've seen some stuff like this already, possibly. Something like sodium plus. Actually, you should have seen stuff like this in ChemThink. That plus sign up there tells us that this is the sodium ion, not the sodium atom, which means that it has lost an electron to get a positive charge. It's got, normally, sodium over here has 11 protons and 11 electrons, normally. Normally, sodium has 11 protons and 11 electrons. In order to get a positive 1 charge, what would happen is it would lose an electron. Remember from our atomic model, the nucleus is where the protons are at. Those things never move. Those electrons are free. They're outside the nucleus. They can come and go as they please, and that's basically how you get an ion. The electrons come or go. They leave, or they attach themselves onto another atom. So the protons never move. Ions are formed by gaining or losing electrons only. It's the only way to do it, gaining or losing electrons. You never gain or lose protons. Those guys are fixed. They're locked in the nucleus. So normally sodium has 11 protons and 11 electrons. In order to get a positive charge, it would lose an electron. So when it loses an electron, that means it would still have the 11 protons, but now it would have 10 electrons. One more proton than electron would give it a positive charge. So it would have a positive 1 charge as an ion. The 1 is typically not written, as you can see up here. It's understood to be there. Anything above 1, then you write in the number. Let's take a look at a couple of examples here. Examples. Let's say that I have something that has 12 protons, 10 electrons. What ion is this? Write the symbol. Well, symbol's easy. That's probably the thing I'd attack first. I know that it's got 12 protons, so that means that, I go to the periodic table and I look up 12, and there it is, magnesium, right here. Get rid of some of this other stuff here from before. So there it is. So I would write my symbol, magnesium, and it's going to have a charge because I've got an unequal number of protons and electrons. Well, what is that charge? Probably the easiest way to do this, there's formulas that you can remember. I'm not a big formula guy. Here's what I do. I take a look and I say, okay, which one do I have more of, protons or electrons? Protons are greater than electrons. That means it's going to be positive. Then my question is, how many more? Two. So that means this would have a positive 2 charge. And I believe it's written number, then charge. Let's go the opposite way. Let's say we had something like oxygen, let's do a different color here, oxygen with a negative 2 charge, and we want to know how many protons, how many electrons. Well, I think I'd start with the protons first because that's easy. I look up oxygen on the periodic table. Oxygen says 8. There it is. Atomic number equals 8, so protons equals 8. I've got 8 protons. Electrons, a little trickier. I've got a negative 2 charge. So if it's negative, what do I have more of? More electrons or more protons? If it's negative, I've got to have more electrons. How many more electrons do I have than protons? Well, the answer is 2 more. So I would have 10 electrons. Let's try one more. Let's go with the symbol. Let's say we have something like aluminum with a positive 3 charge. And I want to know how many protons and how many electrons. Well, first thing I'd do is I'd go for the protons because that's easy. There it is, 13 aluminum. We got 13 protons. The electrons, I have a positive charge. There's the positive charge. So this positive charge tells me I've got protons are greater than electrons. This tells me how much greater? 3 greater. So that means I would have 3 more protons than electrons, so I must have 10 electrons. One more question that I could ask is, how many electrons? Keep in mind, because protons don't go anywhere. They stay. How many electrons did this lose? The answer is, well, 10 minus 3, or 13 minus 10 is 3.